What's good, y'all? It's Krill from Out the Box. I'm back for another review video. Today I want to talk about the new album from Elzhi and Georgia Ann Muldrow entitled Zeitgeist, now available on Bandcamp and digital streaming platforms. It was released on Nature Sounds. The album comprises of 11 tracks, 36 minutes and 42 seconds in duration. Elzhi is the prime MC, Georgia Ann Muldrow is the main producer, but she also appears as a singer, vocalist on a number of times on the album. The production is very funky and groovy, definitely in the vibe of Georgia's signature sound, especially considering her earlier solo projects and her Some Mothership Connect albums also. The album doesn't sound like it was recorded recently. I believe I read somewhere that it was recorded some years ago, but I have to say it's definitely dope that this project got to see the light of the day. It's certainly one of my favorite hip hop albums to come out this year, and it's probably gonna make my top 10 list by the close of the year. So let's talk about some of the tracks on the album. The first song is entitled Amnesia and opens up with a really inspirational hook by Georgia where she sings the words, "Don't forget you are loved by someone." And Elzhi pretty much rhymes his verses throughout the song between those vocals. I really like this as the opening song. I can't front. It just has a very soothing, inspiring vibe, and the wordplay is really clever in terms of El's rhymes. I'll recite some of the memorable quotes from this track and other tracks randomly from here on. So Elzhi kicks off the verse of that song where he says, "L is that N, your favorite rapper sees him as a threat." Pretty much showing you he's not to be played with lyrically. Then he has another line where he says, "Play my cards right, to have the best hand, then left a fingerprint on the culture. It was written on the wall since the days of Beat Street, where they got their eyes on your paper like a cheat sheet. Smart mouths deserve stab wounds by wisdom teeth." So those are just a few quotables that I caught from the song, but there's so much more. This track, Amnesia, also ends with an outro from MC Dudley Perkins, where he talks in a calm spoken word sense and says the words, "I forgot about fear. I don't remember hate. I can't recall false realities. Do I even know you? Do you remember me? Don't ever forget." The third track, entitled Every Moment, is a song about overcoming challenges and pushing forward, taking control of your own destiny. And the subject is tackled with some, of course, pretty clever wordplay by El as well. Georgia Ann is also singing on the hook of this song. This is definitely another funky, groovy track, but just a little bit slower in terms of the vibe. The fourth track, King Ish, Say Word, to me is one of the rawest tracks on the album. This one just features El going off raw MC style. Some of the memorable quotes on this track are, "Who's hotter than Nevada? Trap houses with a spun fan. School you all day, then teach a night course. I am Luke in Miami meets Luke using the light force. Hey, now who the goat? Fearing and roach smearing, the anecdote searing. Me, minus the throat clearing. Cut from the cloth of Nazareth, you won't find at your local mall, small plaza or a massive thrift store. No, a bully punching nerds making glasses shift. And keep heat, I'm the wolf and y'all in sheep meat. If you sitting at the top, it's probably in the cheap seat." Lines, man, these lyrics, man. What's so dope about the last group of lines and a lot of Elzhi's lyrics is he has a way of extending a point in a rhyme that showcases how skilled he is as a lyricist. With his lines, he'll stretch a topic to further emphasize a point in this sort of run-on sentence kind of way, where you'll realize he's talking about the same thing that's still attached to a subject he stated like 3 lines earlier. Just really clever with the rhymes. The fifth track, entitled Understanding, Reprise, features Georgia Ann singing again on the hook. And it's a really groovy, smooth, mellow vibe in terms of the track, as well as the message. A song where Elzhi lightly tackles the topic of Black history and how we've been misled to think of ourselves as only slaves and how it led to some of the downsides of the Black experience in America. But it's told from a perspective of him understanding where things went wrong and the cause of our struggles due to racism and oppression and slavery, etc. As with most Elzhi rhymes, his lyrics are done from a pretty clever approach with the wordplay. As you'll notice, this track is packed with a bunch of cool punchlines and double entendres. This song also ends with a really cool change up in the beat where Georgia sings the hook out to close the song. Then you have the song Already Gone, which I believe was the second single that was released from the album, and you hear Georgia singing on that track as well. Some of the quotables from that song goes like this. My focus began where most end and eye strained. Past feelings is where I put up walls that would fall, all because my potential shot through the roof. So what's a glass ceiling to a blast peeling? What's a glass ceiling to a blast peeling? If its potential is strong enough to shoot through the roof. Man, the bars is just amazing on this one, man. He also has a line where he says, I can wake up in dreams and put nightmares to bed. Now, the next track, Strangeland, is, I believe, the first single on the album. And Elzhi is just going lyrically in on this track. Some of the quotables go like this. He actually starts off the song with the lines, beat slapping like goalie at the players' ball. The rappers that I ate that you consider great were all cold, but then they froze, and afterwards I watched a glacier fall through hellfire, hotter than a Taco Bell fryer in a building next to Bell Tire. I excel higher than a propelled flyer after lighting up a L prior to catching the Holy Ghost by a hired female choir. Wow, L. I mean, that line alone, when I listened back to that line, I was like, yo, this brother is going in with just the onslaught of rhymes about like fire and hotness. He has another line where he says, those with short change can't keep their 2 cents before it exchange hands. Your threats still fall under wolf tickets. I'd only buy to see Tyler the Creator while y'all selling them at will call. Have several seats before the real stall. And then on the hook he says, yeah, there it is. I'm not the one to test. No need to prepare a quiz. Too many claim king but can't sit in the chair of his. All that talk I have you laid out in the front of your therapist. Hey, there it is. So even in the hook, he's coming with the punchlines, you know what I mean? And the double entendres. The track Pros and Cons to me is one of the most clever songs on the album. He rhymes using words that starts with the prefix pro and con. And you find, Georgia also singing on that track. He first goes through all of the words that start with pro, and then the beat actually changes up completely, and he does rhymes with the words that begin with the prefix con. What's so dope about that track is that he's not just rhyming words with pro and con. Like, he's like, there's like certain lines where you hear like 3 different words that have the pro or the con. So you can see there's like layers to his lyricism with this track. The track Nefertiti is a song that's really like the relationship song or the love song in tribute to a special woman he aspires to be in a relationship with. It's really like a tribute to the Black Queen, really dope record, very clever and smooth with the lyrics. The beat bangs smoothly as well. And Elzhi's delivery matches the pace of the beat as well. The song Compassion, which is the last track, we hear Georgia Ann Muldrow singing on the hook and in the background of this track. And Dudley Perkins also appears briefly on the hook as well. The first verse is kind of Elzhi talking about his experience growing up, being counted out by certain adults who criticized him or didn't feel he would grow up to be successful, and him sort of just thanking them for making him stronger despite their criticism. So I like the fact that he approached this song from the perspective of, having a positive outlook on his future, despite the criticism and the belittling he received growing up from, adults. So yeah, man, This is a definitely solid project. In terms of the overall album, you know, there's a lot to unpack lyrically, but I believe it's a rewarding listening experience, especially with the bars if you just take the time to listen to the album. I really like how the production works out for Elzhi. It's a different vibe for him as the sound is more funky, but I like the uniqueness about it. It doesn't sound like anything in his album catalog, and I think it really makes this a special album for him. I feel like Georgia Anne Muldrow kind of brought him into her world in terms of her production and her vocal sound and, you know, just all the dopeness that she displays as an artist. And he really meshed, right? And was able to still keep his high level of lyricism, you know? I also like the fact that the subject matter is very like uplifting and thoughtful as well on this album, man. So, you know, really dope project, man. Go check it out when you get a chance. Again, it's available on Bandcamp and digital streaming platforms. You know, really, really solid project from Elzhi and Georgia Anne Muldrow. I thank y'all for tuning in for another video. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet and you like what you're getting in terms of the review content. You know, if you also like what we do with Out the Box Media in general, man, and you would like to donate to the platform, you know, we got the New Music blog where we post new music daily on outtheboxmedia.com. You could just, you know, send a donation to our Cash App or PayPal. The link will be in the description of the video. And, you know, just thank y'all for tuning in, man. Much, much appreciate, you know, y'all checking out the channel. And I will catch y'all on the next video. Take it easy.